Hello and welcome to my couch. Today we're going to be talking about my fall favorites. I have a list of many fragrances, so I'm going to try to be brief. Brevity is not one of my strong suits. You guys, in my last video I talked about Cezanne sweaters and it prompted me to order from Cezanne. If they ever want to sponsor me, I am beckoning for them. That is what this is. I've basically dropped a full Cezanne ad in the middle of my last video. I just wanted to talk about Cezanne. This is not being paid, but maybe one day. I'm manifesting it. Let's talk about some of my favorite fall perfumes. I'm going to start off this video with some of my more affordable picks. I tried not to do super niche, although I will say craftsmanship and artistry for niche fragrances when it comes to the fall. Fall is the best time for niche fragrances. If you're going to invest in a niche fragrance, fall is the time to do it because the complexity, synthetic sandalwood versus real sandalwood, just the difference. Let's talk first about one of my favorite brands for fall perfume, which is kind of one of the more heavy hitters. I have a discount code. They have these at Twisted Lily. You can get 10% off for Emma 10 if you want to sample either of these or purchase either of these. Before I became a YouTuber, I saw a lot of YouTubers really hype up this brand and just the prices are insane. I think my most expensive fragrance is from this brand and like the price is just so insane and I never ever thought these would be good. I didn't feel like the bottles resonated with me. As a viewer, I was just like, I just don't believe it. These are pretty much they're only two fragrances that I really like, but they are two of my all-time favorite perfumes. So while every fragrance from their collection might not be worth it to me, these two I would do many things for. And that is Fragrance du Bois. I have two fragrances here, Santal Complète and Minuit Demi. Now, if you can't see, Santal Complète is one of my most used bottles. It's probably the biggest dent that I have in a fragrance bottle of all time. Oh, I never really realized that there's the Fragrance du Bois logo at the back. That's so cool. Anyways, this bottle is so good. This perfume, I don't even really listen to Taylor Swift, but if you've listened to the Folklore album, that is what this perfume smells like. It smells like sandalwood with pixie dust. I think Demi Rawling explained it like that a few years ago, and it's just never left my vocabulary. It just smells like it doesn't actually smell like these things, but this makes me think of the perfect time of day. You're drinking tea, you're having a scone. This perfume has the most delicious sandalwood note. It makes me think of the most perfect crisp leaves fall day. It's twinkly, it's sparkly, and it is magical. I love this perfume. There's the perfect amount of sandalwood. It's a little bit milky. It's perfect. And there's no perfume that I smell this and think of anything else. Like, this is not derivative. It's completely new to me. You know, I'm sure that people will smell this and think of other things, but to me it's unique and it's perfect. It's perfection to me. The next fragrance that we have is the epitome of fall, and when this launched I was not hyped because I was frankly a little scared of tobacco after smelling Amouage Sunshine. And this is Minuit Demi from Demi Rawling and Fragrance du Bois. I went through maybe 3 or 4 samples. I bought a bunch of samples of this online and I would just go through them, and then I would get another sample and then I would go through it, and then I'd get another sample and I'd go through it, and I eventually had to get a full size. This perfume is like, you know how when the seasons are changing and then you finally get your first, like for a lot of people it used to be like the first pumpkin spice latte of the season, or like the first time you wear your boots or your raincoat of the season, like that's kind of the thing that sparks fall. For me, it is my first Minuit Demi of the season. This is fall for me. Like, this has become a fall indicator. It's cardamom, it's pimento, like there's just a little bit of a spiciness at the top. It is drooling, mouth watering. I'm on my knees. This perfume, it's just so incredible. And when I first smelled this, I'm like, it just has this beautiful mystical airiness and elegance to the way that this fragrance wears that I think, like, same thing with Santal Complète, where half of the beauty is just the way that these fragrances perform, which I guess is where the price point comes in. Ooh, the price hurts, but ooh, it's really good. This is a fragrance I'm just in love with. Demi Rawling, you created something that is so good, and my expectations were not that high, but oh my god, my expectations will never be lowered again. So Demi, if you come out with anything new, you've got a high bar to hit. The next one I want to talk about is Angel Share by Kilian. I only have my little sample that I got from Lucky Scent. This is a cognac apple pie scent, and I mentioned in my last video that this actually doesn't have an apple pie note, but to me, like, I'm smelling apple pie. Like, you just can't tell me that this doesn't have an apple note. And all my comments told me, you know, maybe you guys were just agreeing with me because you're on my page and you like me for some reason, but a lot of you guys said you smell apple in this too. So, you know, don't care what you're looking at here. This perfume is the scent of an apple pie. Still at the same time, the sexiest thing you will ever smell. Addictive, delicious, perfect, beautiful, standing ovation in a perfume. so head turning, and the longer it sits on your skin, the more it just goes. She's gorgeous. So that was Angel Share, everybody. Another really expensive one. I don't know if I have a discount code for that at all. I don't think I do, but I'll link it. I'll link everything in my description. The next fragrance that we have is more of an affordable one, and this is one called NDA by Jackie Aina. I think she recently restocked, so hopefully you can still get your hands on this. This one is a rum tonka bean scent. These fragrances are in a similar family where they're like rum, tobacco, kind of like boozy, warm, spicy scents with a bit of a vanilla. Midway to me, spicy, more fleshed out, more interesting, very expensive smelling. NDA is like if Sephora carried a scent like that, which so that's what you're getting. It's a lot more palatable, I would say. Like, it's a lot more easy. To me, I always say this kind of smells like a vanilla bean ice cream. Yes, there's rum, yes, there's tobacco, but it's not super, like, I mostly get tonka bean in it. Yeah, I get a lot of, this is to me kind of like a straight tonka bean scent. I don't really get the cherry facets that you usually get in tonka bean. It's just like a really simple vanilla scent that lasts really long on my skin and smells really pretty on me. And it just kind of smells like fall and pretty, and it's pretty, like, it's an easy reach scent. So it's kind of leaning into the warm spicy, but it's a very palatable scent, and I do think it works well, especially for people at Sephora. If you want to dip your toe into like a more spicy scent, this one is a good way to do that without, you know, traumatizing yourself if you are really scared of spicy notes. I don't know. But yeah, this one is a really good one, and Jackie Aina really slayed. I love how this lasts and how it smells on my skin. It's so pretty. So really like that. It's also a decent price point. I think it's $79, and you can get smaller sizes too. Okay, moving along. This perfume is Christian Girl Autumn to me. You know that photo of that one influencer who's this girl that has like this insane brown hair? Like, she has to have some kind of extensions or something, because the amount of hair on this girl is like, it's just insane. And her eyelashes too. Anyways, that girl that takes the photos with the sepia filter, and she, you know, gets her lattes and wears her Uggs. This perfume is Christian Girl Autumn to me. This perfume is Altair from Parfum de Marly, and it is vanilla with a little bit, I think it actually has like a citrus opening, which is kind of interesting. It's just like another warm, spicy vanilla that I find really likable. And I remember when it came out was like one of the hardest terms for me with my neuromechanics course I was taking, and I just spent all my time at the library. And like when I walked to and from library, I'd be listening to My Dark Vanessa, which is a crazy book, but such a good book, such a good book. And I read it in October, and it was so fall, and it was like, it took place at this school, and she was studying at the school, and obviously the book was super traumatic, but like they set up the atmosphere really nicely to feel kind of like fall in Gilmore Girls, except obviously something really horrible happens in the book. But the atmosphere was really nice. I would be reading this book and I felt the atmosphere, and I'd be listening to Fiona Apple, and I'd be wearing this perfume. I just haven't had an October like that since that October when I was reading that book specifically. Like, I had new exciting music, I had a new world to immerse myself in, and like obviously it was a really traumatic book, but it was so well written, and I was just always looking forward to going on a walk, because I listen to audiobooks. So I would go on a walk, I'd crunch on the fall leaves, I've listened to this book that was fall academia, I'd be wearing this fall perfume, and like it was just good. I need a new book to have a moment like that. There's something about being immersed in a book, especially for me. I'm an audiobook reader, so when I'm reading a good audiobook, I'm so much more present in my life, because I'm encouraged to go for a walk, to go listen to my book and do this, and then I'm experiencing outdoors, and I'm experiencing the fall, and I'm touching grass. And so I need a good book recommendation. Basically, this perfume, I have it associated with one of my favorite fall seasons that happened, and so it's just really good. Okay, next up I want to talk about fragrance oils, because these are more affordable picks. Vanilla musk is so good. I considered putting Tea Hoda, which is like the most expensive vanilla perfume that I love, and it's amazing, but this perfume is very similar, and it's so much more affordable, and I love it. The only thing I wish is that it had a rollerball, because it doesn't. Another one is Choco Musk, which is from, I think, Al Rahab. And this is a kind of vanilla scent with some chocolatey notes, and these are really good oils. I love like a gourmand oil that can just be close to your skin, give you that extra like warm boost, cuddly vibes, and these are affordable, so big fan of both of these. Hello. Next up we have another affordable fall fragrance that is again so amazing, exquisite, impeccable. It would be on my fall favorites list, probably in my top 5 even without being affordable, and this is called Heal the Way. This perfume is so good. When it first came out, there was so much hype, and it took so long for me to get it that I had been exposed to so much hype that I was already cynical about it. You know what I mean? Like, and so when I first smelled it, I was kind of like, well, it's not that good. It's that good. It's that good. This is pistachio with like a creamy note, not milky, but like a pistachio cream with Palo Santo. I love the smell of Palo Santo. This perfume, it's so good. I think the way I describe this perfume is like that one person that has this really nice homey energy that they sit down and they ask, how are you? And you end up telling them all your secrets, and then you leave and you're like, I just overshared. But it was because the person had such good vibes. They were so nice, they were so open, and you felt so comfortable with them. That's the energy this perfume gives. It's really good. I don't have anything to compare it to. All I can tell you is it's really good, and I'm a Sniff affiliate, so Emma 10 for 10% off. If you want to get it, Emma 10 for 10% off. You can sample it if you'd like to from Sniff. This might be their best scent. Seldom do I wear a floral scent in the fall, but I wanted to talk about a floral scent that I like for fall. I would add Portrait of a Lady, but I couldn't find that one, so that's an honorable mention. But actually this one's from Victoria's Secret, and it's called Bare Rose. And this scent is a really interesting fragrance because this has a pear opening with a clean rose mid. So the opening is like super fresh, juicy. The mid is like, okay, like we're getting a little romantic, and the base is like, oh, she's like going out to dinner. Oh, she's like romantic. Like, this makes me think of, there's a local restaurant that's kind of like a pizzeria, and it's downstairs, and it's kind of this dark basement vibe, and it's one of those restaurants where you kind of need to take the flash out to look at the menu. I have this kind of like velvet burgundy satin dress. Velvet, it's satin, it's not velvet, but it's the color of velvet. The restaurant downstairs is red velvet, and it's kind of like, I don't know, I just have memories going down there in the fall, and fall makes me think of going on a date where it's really cold outside, and so you're wearing this like dress or like and then you have to wear a jacket over it, and it's just hard to dress appropriately for a, anyways. All I'll just say is this reminds me of a date. It makes me think of like a basement pizzeria that's really fancy, and it's like, I don't know, there's something kind of special about going to a restaurant where you go downstairs and you don't know what you're about to see, and then it's really fancy. Reminds me of that place in Stockholm that I talked about. If you remember, you remember. But yeah, I just think it's so romantic, and I wanted to add something a little different on this list, and I like this perfume. I think it's fun. It's really fruity in the opening, but very woody in the dry down. I have 4 more fragrances. I'm gonna try to go really fast through this because I don't want this YouTube video to be a million years long. This fragrance is called Pasha Edition Noir by Cartier. I bought this from fragrancebuy.ca. It was probably all of like $40. The way that I got exposed to this, someone said like, hey Emma, have you smelled this? My boyfriend wears it. And I was like, no. And then I went to a store where they sold this, and I had it in the back of my mind because my friend was telling me like how good her boyfriend smells. And I was like, okay, like I'm sure he smells good. And I smelled it at Holt Renfrew, and I was like, oh, that's quite nice. Oh, that's quite nice. And I was single at the time, so I didn't have any man to give it to. So what did I do? I went on fragrancebuy.ca. I found the most insane discount. It was like $50, and I bought it for me. And I've been wearing it. It's like kind of like a woody scent with a bit of a powdery note. It does have a bit of a shaving cream vibe. I don't know, I just feel so cool. I don't know if this scent is really that life-changing, or if it's just kind of like, I like wearing men's scents in the fall, and this perfume makes me feel like, you know, someone's gonna wrap their big arms around me and tell me everything's gonna be okay. It also makes me feel like kind of strong and independent. I'm like, damn. I don't know, it just makes me feel good. I have fun wearing this. I like wearing a more masculine scent. Okay, next up we have a fragrance that I've talked about so many times, and it's been a minute since I've talked about it, so I just had to remind you. This is the Cirque du Soleil perfume. It is caramel, bubblegum, popcorn, and this perfume is so strong that during the summertime I didn't reach for it a ton because it's just so strong. Like, okay, I definitely reached for it. I definitely reached for it a lot. But in the fall, I feel like these perfumes are so good because it's so strong and vanilla-y and perfect and beautiful and head-turning and whimsical and just, it's just good. And I'm so excited to make more memories with this in the fall. The dry down to this is the most gorgeous vanilla you will ever smell. I love this perfume. Next up, we have a fragrance that I can talk about because it launched today. This is called Unmute by Noise. They're also a reasonably affordable. I don't know, they're $85. You get them from Ulta. This scent is kind of similar to Vanille Antique by Byredo. It's this slightly rough around the edges, almost smoky vanilla nutmeg cinnamon scent. I think this perfume is so good. The first time I smelled it, I was just like blown away. If you like By the Fireplace, you would like this because it has a similar kind of smoky vibe with some spicy notes, some vanilla, and it's just so good. And I think it's really fun. The packaging's super cute, but not even the packaging. I just crave this perfume. Anyways, they recently came out with a solid perfume that I talked about in one of my recent videos, but it wasn't out yet. I just got it early and I've been loving it. It's the solid version of Unmute. So I've been layering this with my other perfumes. I'll use this as a base to make my other scents last longer. So the solid perfume, I think it's super fun. So I'll just put it on my wrist and then put whatever I want on top. The formula is really nice. The longevity is really nice. I love this perfume. It's so fall to me. Big big fan, big love. Finally, we have a scent that smells also like apple pie, actually more of like an apple pastry, and this one is called Janny by Soradora. This perfume is the most gorgeous, again, super strong, super beast mode, niche apple cake. It's not as boozy as Angel's Share, and it's not as spicy as Angel's Share. Angel's Share is a little more, I don't know, like unisex. This one is more like I'm in France and there's like an apple Danish. That's really what it smells like, but it's also very cozy and nostalgic, and it's so pretty and beautiful. And anyways, if you just want to smell like an apple pastry, that's what this perfume smells like. So big fan. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you so much. Let me know your favorite fragrances for fall. I definitely have more, but I could have spent a million years and just kept adding to this list, so I just had to stop. So yeah, comment your favorite fragrances for fall. Let me know what I should try next, and follow me on Instagram. I have really exciting things coming this week. Potentially a huge announcement. Potentially. But yeah, I really love you guys. Thank you so much for watching another perfumerism video. Also, putting this out there, I'm gonna hit 100K by the end of the year. That is my manifestation. That is my goal. Hope it happens. Anyways, I love you guys, and I'll see you later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.